from the Triple M studios.
Wait for it.
This is the Marty Sheargold Show.
Here we go.
G'day, Shigsy.
Top 6 at 6. Yes.
Brilliant
Nice.
work, everyone.
Bounce back.
Top 6 at 6. Coming in at number 1, Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly brawl on the VMA red carpets. Now, the VMAs is neither here nor there. It's the idea of two blokes trying to have a fist fight on the red carpet.
Well, did Machine Gun Kelly even really arc up, or was it just Conor McGregor throwing a drink on him?
Yeah, it was Conor. It was all Conor McGregor. Asked him for a photo. He said no, and then Conor turned on him. Because I'm
Asked him for a photo. How sad. Is that not the saddest thing you've ever heard?
Yes, yeah, asking Machine Gun Kelly for a photo.
Oh, my God.
Number 2, VCAL to be scrapped in Victorian schools and revamped with vocational certification. What's VCAL?
Yeah, what is that?
VCAL, so instead of getting a VCE, you did VCAL, and it was like you started an apprenticeship.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, I've got a young mate who did that. So in 11 and 12, you can start your apprenticeship.
Yes. Yeah. So I think with this, they're going to still be doing VCE subjects as well as doing sort of a lead into an apprenticeship.
Number 3, viewers across the show, the viewers accuse the show of promoting Hillsong.
Sorry, the voice.
Oh, right.
Voice.
They're missing the voice.
Oh, okay, here we go. The viewers accused The Voice of promoting Hillsong after one of its members was crowned the winner. Oh, this is great.
One of Guy's contestants.
One of Guy's contestants has won it, and I said in the office today, can anyone tell me the name of the winner of The Voice? Silence.
No.
Couldn't tell you any.
No, I never saw a minute of it. I'm not supposed
neither
to.
did
I'm a
I.
50-year-old bloke. But in the old days, you used to know who won these things.
Yes.
That's not a reflection of society, I don't think, if the five of us don't know.
Well, it's a pretty good cross-section.
It was fairly popular, though.
Was
Voice,
it?
Wasn't it? Wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think the thing is, though, they've no one from The Voice has ever gone on to have a huge music career.
No,
Like
well, then
Idol.
I suggested Jack Vidgen and found out he
No,
wasn't
he
even
wasn't.
on that show.
He
talent,
was on
wasn't
The
he?
Voice, but he
was
wasn't
X
originally
Factor.
on The Voice.
Was he X Factor?
I think so.
I thought
One
he
of
got
them.
talent.
One of them, yeah.
See, this is the thing. I
He's
mean,
got
they-
talent.
They just churn out these kids.
So many.
He was on
Belt
Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Belt an album out of them and then push them off into the world.
And then next.
Justice
Yeah.
Crew got talent, I think.
Justice Crew were brilliant.
One of them's a wiggle now.
Are you joking?
Yeah, no, he's the new Purple
Were
Wiggle.
you at the Radio Awards the year that Justice Crew did them?
Yes.
One of the saddest shows I've ever seen.
Don't.
8 blokes dancing around in front of a group of dead shits.
Weren't you in the crowd?
Yes, he
Yes,
was.
right up the front.
Table 1.
That's what he meant.
I knew who was around me, though.
Marty only goes to those nights if he's at the front table. Otherwise,
Then he
forget it.
does a Houdini halfway through.
Gotta go. The first contestant on The Masked Singer has been revealed as international film star Vinnie Jones.
It's probably one of the, it's a big name.
It's one of their better gets.
It's one of their
Yeah.
biggest people, and I didn't ever think that, especially on this season, they would actually have internationals.
Yeah.
A surprise.
It's tough for Vinnie, though, to come out here, quarantine for 2 weeks and get punted after Rep 1.
Yes, off you go.
I doubt he's devastated.
Well, unless it's been managed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Vinnie signs a contract saying he'll do 3 weeks' work, and someone whispers into bloody Jackie O's ear, Vinnie Jones.
No one guessed him.
No one guessed
No.
him? Well, then how
We'll talk
wise
about
he
it
out?
later. We'll talk about it
All
later.
right.
Don't understand that show. Number 5, Gable Tosti in fresh Tinder controversy 7 years after balcony death. Jeez, he's a funny fella, that bloke. Not
Yeah.
funny, ha.
No.
No.
Number 6, wild rumour emerges that Sacha Baron Cohen will perform as Freddie Mercury at the AFL Grand Final in Perth after walking away from Bohemian Rhapsody biopic due to creative differences with Queen. That absolutely will not happen.
Top 6 at 6. What's on the back page?
Oh, what is happening in the wide world of Will?
Thank you, Troy. The Melbourne Storm preliminary final against either Penrith or Parramatta at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane has luckily been moved
final.
So Victorian fans will be able to see both the Storm play and then the grand final.
Common sense reigns.
Originally, they had clashed, which was mental. It was going to start 35 minutes after the opening bounce of Melbourne.
Not a single
against the Bulldogs.
person in Victoria would have watched that game.
Yeah. It's almost like the NRL were trying to sabotage the viewership of that game in
But
Victoria.
are they crazy that they think a prelim final would ever gazump an AFL grand final? That's just lunacy.
Yeah. So,
And finally, they've seen the light. So it's actually going to be a magical day now.
Oh.
Because 4 o'clock kickoff for the Storm,
That's
that
it.
gives us something to do
that's what we're
while we wait for the
I
GF.
see.
So even if you're not much of
I'm a massive rugby league fan. I can't wait.
You are, but for
I probably
say,
won't be watching it, but
Lauren,
yeah.
you'll-
Should I?
Get into it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Have a look
Melbourne
at the
Storm.
Storm.
Maybe I'll
run
buy
around.
some merch.
It's a shame the Storm are ending up on the same side as Penrith.
That's true. Arguably the best two teams in the comp.
Wait, so this is a prelim final,
Yes.
right? Aren't they
The-
normally on the same weekend, the finals?
Sometimes they
No,
are, sometimes they're not.
no, they used to be.
Saturday, Sunday, didn't
Used to
it?
be a
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday AFL grand final weekend, and it was pretty heckers.
Yeah.
Usually it's the week after now, isn't it?
Now they moved it.
It
and
moves around a lot.
Yeah.
Depending, it's just a scheduling thing. They have more home and away rounds the NRL, so.
They do. A lot
But now
more.
we can see Pappenhausen and the boys.
Pappenhausen.
Very exciting for the Storm. They're in great form. Collingwood coaching. So the Magpies yesterday confirmed that Justin Lepich, former Lions coach and Richmond assistant, will be joining the ranks, as well as ex-Carlton senior coach Brendan Bolton.
Head of football.
Yes, in head of football role. So they've both been under very successful systems in their own right, and they will be underneath Craig McRae.
Well, he'd know Leper well.
Yes, played 3 premierships together up at Brisbane. And it has come to light that Carlton, on the other hand,
What are they doing
they've reached out to Michael Voss.
Oh,
They're
soggy.
expected to have a crack at Chris Scott,
Soggy.
who is still in contract at Geelong. And they have also approached Chris Fagan, said Caroline Wilson, which was quickly knocked on the head. So
Why would Chris Fagan leave Brisbane, for God's sake?
you would want him. He's done a wonderful job up
Soggy
there.
is going to start next year without a coach.
It's not looking promising at the moment.
They
I'm
might
not
be
sure.
the first AFL team in modern
Coachless.
history to have a captain coach. Who's also a plumber.
Big job for Paddy Cripps. He's trying to find form himself.
Guys, I'm working 4 days a week. I don't know if I can run ball work on Thursdays.
And Luke Beveridge, speaking of coaches, it's been one of the coaching performances of all time for him to take his Western Bulldogs into a grand final. After the Bulldogs beat the Lions, their 1-point classic in the semi-final earlier in the final series, attention turned to Adam Treloar. He had a disappointing match with just 10 disposals by his own standard. He was a high-profile recruit, of course.
He's also battled mental health.
He has.
And been very public about
publicly, yes. So
that. So it was interesting that there was a few blokes in the media that had a fair old crack at him,
So-
given what we know about his history.
Yep, of course. A 5-year, $4.5 million deal, so a high-profile recruit to the Bulldogs. Jonathan Brown, Kane Corns, our own Nick Rewalt were publicly critical of his performance, respectfully, as they are as
Well, Nick
football
would have been
commenters.
respectful.
Yes, and there were many others as
And
well.
Brownie would have been.
Yes, they would have.
Kane
Then-
Corns is an interesting one, though. He can get a bit loose. Is he with us?
No, he's not with us.
Well, he's a bit of a turd.
He's actually with a rival. Luke Beveridge spoke after the Port game, and this has gained a bit of traction, this audio, after Treloar had a better performance, and this is what Beveridge had to say.
Some of the ridiculous commentary and insinuations around Adam was just so distasteful from people. Like, if you're going to fail at something, don't fail at trying to pull people down. You know, I just don't know how people can sleep next to people like that when they're so vindictive, and that was nasty. I was so happy to see him play well tonight.
Bit of an interesting one from
Well, I
Beveridge.
saw Kane Corns reply to that by, thinking that he'd been singled out by Beveridge.
Yeah.
And then asking the question, why would he bring my wife into it?
It was a touch personal, the Beveridge comment, but
Yeah, but also, that's Kane's imagining. He might not have been talking about you, Kane. But Kane obviously knows within himself that he is a turd.
perhaps Beveridge was. But it's just a passionate coach standing up for a player, and you can see why the players get around him so
But
much.
also, it's what Luke Beveridge is famous for, is us versus the world.
Yep.
And that's what he's doing there.
Back
Standing
against the wall.
by his players and saying, you shouldn't be treating the group like this because we're going to win a flag together.
It's worked till this point, so points to the Bulldogs.
There you go.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Mucking around, having a bit of fun. Triple M.